And I always, like, on all my years, I just said, like, the simple framework, understanding what a craving is and what true hunger is going to get you in the best shape of your life. And so many times we're eating because we're craving foods.
Yeah.
But if you understand the difference, you have to be in touch with your inner being. You have to be like, all right, I'm not hungry. I want this food, but if I don't eat it, it's, you know, it's going to go away. And it's actually pretty cool. Like, the more and more you're in touch with your inner self, you know, like your thoughts are like not taking, you know, all these different tangents. All of a sudden, everything else improves. You know, so it takes a lot of work. I mean, you have like 60,000 thoughts a day, and the ability to harness them, use them for, you know, the disciplined things in your life becomes very powerful.
Yeah, it's almost like a mind virus.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you have a virus implanted in your mind, and the virus automatically replicate itself. The one thing that I will do for 2013, which I'm a little scared of doing, but it has to be done, and I've learned this technique from Dan Kennedy. I used to be a CPA. It's at one point where I used to work in corporate, and we used to account for every single hour. We used to bill clients. Like we had timesheets. Our job, it's like an attorney, right? So we used to count for every single hour. It has to be billable, and we had to charge every single hour. And the thing I hated the most in the world was filling out timesheets. It drove me insane. That's one of the big reasons why I quit
Yeah.
being that job. But it is such an effective tool for productivity. It's like so Dan Kennedy, one of these big gurus, was saying, like, I can't remember who it was. If you want to be productive, you need to be accountable for your time. And what I'm going to try to do next year is like the morning session at noon. I'm going to say I'm going to work in the morning, whatever it is I got scheduled, and I'm going to write down what it is that I've actually done in the morning.
Yeah.
Because it tells me, I've done it once or twice, it's actually quite dangerous. It reveals how much I've wasted time in between. And then I'm going to do like the afternoon session, I'm going to work, and then write down, literally force myself and say, okay, what did I do this afternoon?
Yeah.
And it's the only way to be accountable. But the thing is, the reason why I was doing it, I was scared. I didn't want to be accountable for some of the stuff that I'm wasting, but it's a tool nonetheless. I'm going to try it and see what happens and how
Oh,
it
that's
works out.
great. That takes a lot of discipline, and of course, and that's what it is. Because you know, I used to do that like the night before, kind of write out by the hour, every 30 minutes of stuff that I'd be working on. But it's the hardest thing to uphold because the rational mind always like, you know, rationalize like, okay, I should be doing this. This is important, and you know, I should go on this, and then other things come into your schedule. You know, and it's very difficult to uphold. But like, hey, discipline. You know, same thing as holding a clean diet. You also rationalize, hey, that piece of cake is going to be the only time it's in front of me, so I might as well enjoy it. You only live once. Hey, what's so important about staying on a diet? I have to enjoy life. You know, yap. Everything is this brain that's, you know, like you said, this virus is always leading you towards the easy, pleasurable stuff where you have to be very diligent and disciplined. And it's great. And you know, in every aspect, even like when you read all these books about habits and maintaining this level of discipline, it's like one discipline leads off to the other thing. And one, you know, they transcend one another. And like when I was younger, I used to think like if you become too disciplined, you become robotic and your life is boring. And in actuality, the more discipline you have, the more freedom you have, because you are eliminating that procrastination time, that time that you're feeling guilty, you're down on yourself, because you have a set time each day to do certain things.
Yeah.
Follow, you know, I think like whenever you have the ability of, you know, being in control of yourself, that's the most fulfilling and the most like best feeling in the world, because you wake up each morning knowing that you did every single thing as planned, and then you have time to enjoy yourself. Like even though whole 45 minutes work 15 minutes, and those 15 minutes are so much more enjoyable because you earn, you know.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. See, I'm trying to stay away from the word discipline because I don't know, it's a hard thing. But I agree with you. I was reading an interesting book about time management, and not so much time management, but getting things done. And what this guy said, I forget the name of the book. He says instead of being disciplined, and if you look at all the successful people, they're obsessive.
Yeah.
They become so obsessive in one or two things that they can literally work on it non-stop. And the reason why they're so obsessive about something is because they got a good idea that whatever they're working on, there's a reward at the end of the day. That business is going to work. That the big goal over there, they can see it coming. They can see it coming to fruition. They know it's going to work, and they become so obsessive about it that it consumes them. Obviously, you have healthy consumption and things that are not healthy, but it's like an addict, right?
Yeah.
An addict's going to take drugs and it consumes them and they become obsessive. That's bad. But if you look at your work as a level of obsession, like if you know that you build something and you sell it and it's going to turn out to 6 or 7 figures, everything else takes second place. You become obsessive, you get to it and you get it done. And he says, find the obsessiveness in your business, because you find what you're obsessive about. You do it despite any obstacles that way. It becomes fun and you want to do it. And he says, it's like, look at Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, obsessive about coding. All they did was coded Facebook. You didn't have to tell them that they had to sit 18 to 24 hours a day. It's like, you can't build discipline to sit 18 to 24 hours a day. It's impossible. But if you find things inside, it's kind of like a mind hack for a mind virus. If you find things that you're really truly passionate about, it doesn't mean that the activity you got to be passionate about, right? You got to be obsessive about the things you're going after, right? So if you're obsessive about building a 6-figure business in fitness, for example, then the obsession is getting good at marketing, delivering better service at your client, and spending every single waking hour or moment knowing that if you didn't be productive today, your dreams are going to go away, and then it's kind of like, I don't know. So I'm trying to say, okay, in my businesses right now, in order for me to be productive and make money, what do I need to be obsessive at? And what do I need to almost like discipline, but I got to do every single day without fail. And my problem is that I can start off on a Monday being disciplined, but Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm doing different things other than the thing I should be working on. And then I caught myself doing that again this week. I had something and then something urgent came up and I had to deal with this and that situation, and I didn't focus on the thing. And I said, from now onwards, it's getting obsessive. It's getting obsessive about making sure certain things get done. So there's a very interesting time management kind of concept on how to get things done.
Yeah. No, that's very important, because obviously I think to be an entrepreneur you have to have some level of OCD.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, because sometimes when you talk to a person who's not an entrepreneur and they see the way even this whole discussion about productivity and trying to squeeze out every minute of our lives, some people are like, oh my God, I didn't realize it was that much work. I didn't realize you have to be so structured. How are you going to enjoy life? Where is the, fun in it if you're so structured? But people don't realize that gives us a sense of fulfillment, being so structured, having goals, accomplishing them, being better than we were yesterday. That is like the most powerful thing. And it's interesting. OCD is, I've never met an entrepreneur that wasn't OCD,
And let's face it, let's look at some of your clients that are doing fitness training and workouts with you. To some extent, sorry?
No, you just make me think like the successful ones are the ones that are OCD.
To some extent, not completely OCD, like they give up their whole life to sit in the gym. Those are bodybuilders, right? Like Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff. But they are, they may have a mild level of OCD. We're making up new terms here. But they may be mildly OCD because their body is so important to them. They become mildly obsessive compulsive about making sure they work out, making sure they get to the gym, reading some articles, talking about it. It's central and it's part of their conversation, and therefore they're successful. And the people that don't even work out. And then it's a constant struggle. Oh, I need to go to the gym on the first of the year. I need to be more disciplined. I not need to eat. And they put all these things in place because you don't need it. I think being mildly obsessive compulsive, there's nothing wrong with it, as long as it's used for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And you get what you want out of it. You know, I enjoy working. I enjoy my business. I mean, I'm more than mildly obsessive compulsive about it. But hey, I'd rather be doing this than sitting and watching TV or playing golf on a Saturday because I couldn't do that. But I can sit and tinker in my business. You know what I mean? And spend family time.
My friends, they're watching football. I don't watch any sports. I don't
Right.
really care for sports. It doesn't get me. I don't feel like I'm missing out.
Right.
And sometimes I see them. They invite me. Hey, we're watching a football game for 5 hours. You want to come by? We'll hang out and everything. And I was like, oh my God, for those 5 hours, I could be doing so much more productive things, learning, reading, reflecting.
Yeah.
That is how I want to spend my free time. It's so much more fulfilling to watch a bunch of grown men, enjoying living their life, obsessing about the results of the game. Shit, man, that's a big waste of time, But, obviously, people like to spend their time in different ways. I love to learn and be productive,
Yeah. And let's look at all the fitness trainers that are successful. You yourself, you're very successful. And, not in say it in a bad or negative sense, you're mildly obsessive about your business. You spend waking moments, if you reflect back, now I hope I'm not putting words in your mouth, thinking about it, reflecting on it, going for coaching, finding out new strategies, and then working your ass off in the business.
Oh, man.
Hiring, firing, but the business is all consuming and obsessive. There's some level of OCD involved in that to be successful.
My personal goal is to increase my income by 20% every year while increasing my freedom and peace of mind.
Right.
That's like the framework that I always go into every single moment of my life. And the only way I'm going to do that is by being obsessive, by seeing my numbers every month, by improving myself. And because I'm a big believer in mastery, I never am happy with the status quo. I'm always improving different things. I go to public speaking courses. I improve my writing. I write books on writing. I read different blog posts on how to become a better writer. How to express myself. How to become a better trainer. I just finished a book about mindless eating. The book, there were 3 sentences that have really hit me hard, but those 3 sentences are changing my philosophy of creating diet plans. I'm always looking at YouTube for new workouts because I have to always be the best in my local area. Nobody's gonna, work as hard as I am in terms of learning, become better at the craft, And the trainers that I know that are struggling, that are not increasing their income, that are not increasing, going backwards, are the ones that are just doing the same shit all the time, doing the same shit, they know it all. I don't need to learn any new marketing tactics. I don't need to, become a better trainer because, what I do gets results. I already got it. So they're not on this constant improving, And that is being OCD, understanding that I don't know everything, I have to learn more, consume more, and then basically create through that, And I think the biggest thing is consuming and then creating, learning all this stuff, giving back. Kind of what we're doing now. We're becoming at the top of our game because let's say we have this, meaning that we have to be always giving back, and that forces us to learn more, to ask more questions, to understand more, so we can help other people in the process. And you're not going to do that by being complacent. If we weren't such hardcore nerds to always take in, learn, think, reflect, then these podcasts would totally suck.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question, AJ. What if a new trainer comes to you and says, hey, and this trainer knows from a marketing perspective that they need to do some online marketing to grow their business, or offline marketing and networking, or sending out postcards, whatever it is, whatever the case may be. What if a new trainer comes back and says to you, AJ, well, I don't know how to write blog posts to put it up there. I don't know how to write sales letters. I don't know how to go network properly. Why should I do that? I want clients coming to me. What would you say in that situation to someone?
I think that's a simple thing. How bad do you want it? If you want to just have the same income and just work a 9-to-5 life, and not really move to the next level, then that's fine. If you don't want to learn, then there's no need. Stay where you are. But if you want to be a six-figure trainer, if you want to have freedom, peace of mind, if you want to, be able to go where you want, buy what you that Jim Rohn said that, it's a universal thing that I always think about. Basically, your income is determined by the value you put out in the marketplace. Now, people that want to increase their income, want to increase their freedom and happiness, have to constantly become more valuable. And the only way you're going to become more valuable is by being a better blogger, a better trainer, a better speaker, a better social person. That, realistically, the person who, digs ditches compared to the CEO is the amount of value that the CEO has. Any person could go pick up a shovel and dig ditches. That's a very commodity type of job. But the CEO has set of experiences, mindset, and knowledge that is extremely valuable, and that is developed over years and years and years. So the same trainer, the trainer works at LA Fitness, they're a commodity. They don't even need to be certified. You can pick any person off the street. But the trainer has his own establishment, who has online clients, who has people knocking at their door wanting to see them. They have this level of value. And the only way you're going to show value is by, consuming and creating. So that is,
But what if I turn around and say I don't have I'm not good at computers, and I'm not good at writing, and I'm not good at making videos, and I'm not good at talking to people online? What would you say?
You're not going to be good at making money. The bottom line is it's kind of like, a person's obese and says, I'm not good at following a diet, I'm not good at exercising.
I'm big boned, right?
I can't jump into your body and, rewire your brain to be making good at it. You have to learn, you have to want, you have to desire, then you're not going to be good at making money, but you're going to be good at staying the same and struggling and being stressed out. Because all this shit takes work, and that's the bottom line. It's like you don't want to do the work, then just enjoy where you are.
So what's your final tip on productivity, AJ? What is it for you in the new year? What's your main productivity tip?
The main productivity tip is realistically digging deep down into your why. And I found why am I doing this? Because I think so many times we get robotic, we have to do it, or it is something that needs to be done. But whenever there's an urgency of doing something, it gets done no matter what. And I think the person who is very productive has a very, very powerful way of tapping into that urgency and transferring their thoughts into action. It's very, very difficult, but the more you understand why you're doing something and you connect something to it, because it's funny. One part of my book, I'm writing about why people don't follow diets or why they don't like to go to the gym, is because they don't have a big enough desire. But a fascinating thing I've learned is people that usually have, for example, a heart attack, end up living longer than people that don't have heart attacks. There's some crazy fact about that, but it was the fact that a person almost dies and their doctor says, listen, if you continue on this path, you're going to be dead the next year or so. They do this huge revamp of their lifestyle, where they get a new nutrition plan, they start exercising on a daily basis. Their why has changed, because if you don't, they're going to die. And I think everybody has that thing hey, my why is I don't want to go broke. I don't want to ever be in a place where I have to work for somebody. I don't want to go for a point where I can't wake up and do what I want throughout the day. I mean, that's why I work so hard, So I think the best thing is always tapping into that burning desire. You'll be so damn productive. I mean, whenever you're faced with going on vacation, the day before vacation, you're the most productive you could ever be, because you know that in the next 3 weeks you can't do this shit, or you have a deadline, an hour of handing something in. Creating that why, that short period of time, things need to get done, because it's so easy to procrastinate. Put it off till tomorrow. This is not that important. I'll get to it when I'm more energetic, when I'm more motivated, when I'm more inspired. That's bullshit. If you don't do it now, it's never going to get done. Creating that urgency in the moment, that's the most powerful thing.
Awesome.